Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the topic alloy formation in transition metals part 5. An alloy is what a transition metals form alloys with each other. This is because they have almost similar size and the atoms of one metal can easily take up the position of in the crystal lattice of others. So an alloy is formed a blending of metal with one or more other elements. The elements may be metals, there may be elements may be metals, non-metals or both. The bulk metal is named as a solvent and the other elements is smaller in portions are called solute. Did you remember? Alloys you have studied in a 10th standard I think. So alloy is nothing else. Suppose if you are taking gold already, you know there's no gold 916. So gold is what, how much carat will be there? So 24, again I will say 22. So if it is 100 means automatically it will be 916 will come, isn't it? So alloy, we are wearing ornament, gold is also one of the alloy compound, right? And here 22 divided by. So among the preparation of gold ornaments, they are using the shopkeepers, the jewelers, they are making this gold ornaments by using only 22 carats, isn't it? We cannot make pure gold, isn't? So 22 carat is a gold, isn't it? And what will be the remaining? The 2%. The 2% must be a copper. So which is in a larger in amount. This larger amount is gold, no? This larger amount, suppose you can imagine this is a gold, okay? This is larger in amount, this is we can consider as a solvent. For alloy making, which one is used as a larger in amount? This should be considered as a solvent. What we are pouring in a smaller portion, the copper will be in a smaller portion. This should be in a solute. So the copper is only 2% is added. This should be in a small amount. So for making an alloy, the main material should be in a larger in size, larger in amount, and we are pouring something, pouring some elements or some of the elements will take up the portion in between, making interstitial compound also. In that compound must be the solute compound. That is what alloy making condition. So for this is the smaller portions is called a solute and a larger portion metal named as solvent. It is the bulk portion. Bulk metal is named as a solvent like a gold. So in this making of gold, this is fully a gold, and so small portions if we are adding, this should be a copper. That is what alloy making forms. Not only for this. So the scientists, according to Hamm-Rothery rule to form substitute alloy, they give some different conditions also. What is the different condition? Difference between atomic radii of solvent as well as solute is less than 15%. So here we have taken two type of elements. It is gold. So it is a gold or copper. It is in larger amount. So the size should be in between these two must be less than 15%. The first condition is what? Less than 15%. The first condition. And both the solvent as well as solute having crystal structure and then valence and their electronegativity difference must be closest to 0. First thing is, it must be 15%, less than 15%. Solvent as well as, suppose gold is a solvent and copper is a solute. If you are imagining, automatically the difference must be, the atomic radii difference must be 15% is less. And both the solvent as well as solute must have same crystal structure and their valency and their electronegativity difference must be also closest to 0. That is why we said already it is a similar in size. It can only easily take up the portion of other. It can accept the remaining element within that pot. So transition metals satisfying these mentioned conditions, it is accepting conditions and form number of alloys. So you can see many alloys. There is atomic sizes similar and the metal can easily replace another metal and form crystal lattice of alloys. And this must be so hard. For making of alloys, this the material should be more than hard than the initial one. If you are taking simply gold or silver or anything else, it must be go very much hard than the previous one. So after getting alloys must be harder than the initial, and it will have already high melting point also. For example, we may take ferrous alloys. Many alloys we can see. Ferrous alloys as well as gold, copper alloys making of ornaments, and ferrous alloys, chrome alloys, and also copper alloys. Copper also making many uses for this. So first one is what actually? Brass. The brass, bronze, as well as also gunmetal. So brass, bronze as well as gunmetal. It is also alloys of copper. Brass, if you are taking here, copper should be 60 to 80%, and remaining 20% may be zinc. Remaining 20% may be 20 to 40%. So among this, which one is a solvent? The copper is a solvent, and this is must be a solute particle, right? So in that copper, the zinc will be taking place, and bronze metal, if you are taking automatically, this is must be 75 to 90%. And what will be the remaining portion? It is tannous. It is what? How much? 10 to 25%. This is also larger in amount is what? Copper. And copper is a solvent. Again, the stannous is a solute particle. And also here gunmetal. Here also copper may be 87%. Remaining 10% may be stannous. Zinc may be 3%. This is also large percentage. In the copper, these are act as a solute particle. This will be taking position here. And what will be the use of brass, bronze? These are very strong metal, very hard, as well as very high melting point also. And what will be the use of this? Is making for utensils, as well as wires, and bronze is used for statues, medals, and gunmetal used in the gun barrels as well as casting also. This is a example for making of alloys. And next one topic is formation of complexes. And formation of complexes. So transition metal, one more important property of transition element is it is elements having tendency to form coordination compound with the species that have an ability to donate on electron pair. So here the transition elements have tendency to accept the electron, because it have unpaired electrons, no? So it must have unpaired d electron. So it is ready to accept the electron from the nearby compound. So to form coordination compound with the species that has the ability to donate electron pair to form a coordinate covalent bond. So transition metal ions are small and highly charged, and they have important thing is vacant low energy orbitals. D electrons are sometimes empty, sometimes unpaired electrons accept an electron pair donated by other groups. For example, we can see this is what iron, and nearby that is Cn as well as 6. So we can see here in this compound the cations D block elements are strong to form complexes. Suppose cobalt as well as nitro monoxide as well as NH3, these are all act as a ligand. So inside the bracket which will be a ligand, this is not central metal ion. This square bracket shows that it is a coordinated complex. So see here cobalt, see here this is Fe. It is iron is present. We can say this is coordination number. Here coordination number. The sphere is known as it is coordinated sphere. So this is actually ligand molecule. So ligand can donate a pair of electrons towards iron. So this is actually ligand. This ligand can donate a pair of electron. This pair of electron is accepted by a central metal ion. For example, Fe, what will be the atomic number here? 26, no? So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d6. So if you are taking in the d shell, how many unpaired electrons? See here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, again 5, 6. So totally 4 unpaired electron. Is it right? So 4 unpaired electron is needed. So these 4 electron can be filled. These 4 unpaired electron can be filled by accepting electron from the ligand. So we shall write this in this unpaired electrons. So these 2 electrons. Now in this compound Fe2 plus will be there. Automatically these 2 electrons will be also released. Now here empty shell. This is also unpaired electrons. Now the 6 ligands. The ligands are very much strong ligand. This ligand will be donated pair of electrons towards here. So ligand will be donated electrons towards here. So this ligand from cyanide, it can be accepted by the transition elements ion. Likewise cobalt also, suppose if you are taking cobalt, this is also accepting electron from the nearby compound, that is NH3. In this one, formation of complexes, many compounds are producing complexes. This is a CONO NH3 as well as F minus as well as Cl minus as well as also Cn minus. These are all known as negative ligand. These are also actually positive ligand. So the transition metals are act as a coordinated complex to accept the pair of electrons. Now in this compound, in this session, we are seeing alloy formation as well as formation of complexes. Thank you students. We will see next class.